It's me, Bree McGee. Welcome to my little corner of the world, the cosy home of wholesomeness, and I hope your day is going swimmingly. Today's Breeze is all about dead zones, so let's get started. Now it's always the same. Whenever I'm speaking to someone who's out and about, they might be on a bus, in a car or walking, often there are periods of time where the phone line will either cut out or it will become very difficult to hear them. And it depends which area they're in as to whether this happens or not. Now either they will sound like they're speaking into a baked bean can and sound really tinny, or they'll sound like an old comedian called Norman Collier whose act involved the idea of every other word, his microphone, he made it sound as if his microphone sound dropped out. It was just part of the act and it was so funny. Take a look, I'm sure he's on YouTube somewhere. Very funny guy. And quite often I'll say to the person on the other end of the line, oh, you sound like Norman Collier, because every other word's disappeared and I can't hear it. So there are these dead zones, I don't like saying that word, all around where I live and across large swathes of the country. I think there are places where the signal just drops for some reason. Now, wouldn't you think in a time where they can make robots dance, which is something I saw on a video the other day, which kind of felt a little bit strange, in a time where they can get rockets off the ground and into space. They can deal with all kinds of things across the world that's going on. They can do fantastical things everywhere with everything and with technology, but they can't make a signal stay like on an equilibrium all the time across wherever you live. They can't do that, but they can do all these other great things with technology. I don't understand that. I don't understand technology anyway, and I don't understand why they can't get signal to just be signal no matter where you are. Right down the road from me, there's a large section of a road where there is literally no signal, and the call will fall out altogether if you're on the phone with someone who's travelling, for example. And you know, you'll be speaking to them and they'll say, oh, if the call drops out, I'll phone you back when I've got past this specific area. I don't think that's good enough in this day and age. I don't think it should be the case that if we're supposed to do everything online, if we're supposed to do everything by either telephone or on websites and apps and application things, why there should be areas where there is no signal. You can't have it both ways. Either make a system that works because you want it that way, all online, or let's have it back how it used to be and we just do it the old-fashioned way. That always worked, I might add. You didn't used to have phone calls dropping out left, right and centre. You just have a telephone call, put the phone down and carry on as normal. But they want us to do this whole system, but they don't provide what we need to do it with. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because it's so annoying when you're trying to have a conversation with someone and the line just keeps falling out or dropping down, whatever the term is these days for that particular thing. I am a little bit peeved about it, because quite often we'll be in the middle of something important that we're talking about and then someone says, oh, I'll have to phone you back, and quite often I'll forget what I was saying, or I'll have lost track of what they were saying, or with the state of my mind I can't absorb and keep information in my mind very long. So when that happens, I have to quickly grab a pen and paper, write down what I was talking about, because quite often they'll come back on the line and say, what were we saying? So I have to then refer to my note, my writing pad to find out what we were talking. It just makes everything so much more difficult. I think actually that I wonder if this is the plan. Let's make everyone's life a lot more difficult than it needs to be. It seems to be the case, and I've talked about this a lot about different things that in the olden days things were a lot simpler And then with the uprising of technology, which was supposed to make life easier, I think, it has done nothing but complicate things, in my opinion. This is just my opinion from my experience in my world. And I'm not saying everyone has to feel like this. We're all entitled to our opinion, aren't we? Yes, we are. And so that's what I think. I think telephone companies or whoever's in charge of these signals, get on with it, get the signals sorted out, make them equal in all places so we can just speak to people on the phone when we need to. What if you're in the middle of a very important call and you're on a bus, say, you're on a call to the hospital, you're trying to get some results and the phone line's dropping out. It takes an absolute decade to get through to anyone medical on a telephone anyway. But for the line to just die is very annoying. I've been in that situation, but if you know, it's just so annoying when that happens. And I think it's about time, telephone companies, that you sorted this out and got us a decent signal across the board, please. Let me know what you think. Have you been through this at all? Or is it just me? I'm sure it's not. Let me know in the comments as always. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. And cheerio and mind how you go.